Full moon madness. I'm like mainlining lavender. I just got in from my treatment and my hair's fucked from the oil and stuff. Full moon. This morning, my yoga practice, my breath was so shallow. I get so intense on full moons and way too much Cancerian in my chart, just way too much. Like something should have been done about that, but what can you do? Or have I just bought into the belief system? I kind of think that, and even if I go off the reality and I don't know what's going on with the moon or whatever, which is kind of hard because it's so connected to me, but often I'll just be like, and someone will go, yeah, it's full moon tomorrow, and I go, oh, that's why, you know. So, yeah, I had a soy decaf with honey. Don't tell mummy. On the way home, I had $1 in my hand, and fuck, I tell you, I was looking for a fag, but I couldn't find one, but I could kind of see a person in the distance, and I had such a little bit of coffee left because I was freezing, and I can't dry fag, and I definitely wasn't going to buy another coffee, and I was in that real no fag, and just ran to the train station as much as someone with rheumatoid arthritis could run to the train. It really didn't look like that. I had lots of pain last night at different times of the night, and then wake up and something else is hurting. So this is what goes on with my rheumatoid experience. Just it kind of floats around. It's obvious that it's A, I'm not on methotrexate. B, lots of stuff's coming up because of the treatment. C, I'm asking myself to witness it and not judge it. And, you know, one of my mantras, which I learned from Vipassana, is, you know, everything negative, everything positive rises to the surface, stays for a while and passes away. You know, that's the experience. That's, you know, how to be equanimous, you know. So I work with that a lot, and it does really serve me. I work with what Jose says, which is make it nothing. Just make it nothing. Like, so what? I had a soy decaf, and it's good that I didn't have a fag because I'd probably find that really hard to make nothing. And then I think about my absolutely wise Master Yang, and he thinks everything's so small. Like I recall wanting to have distant healings from him on full moons or, you know, particular days when there's, you know, amazing astrology placements. And he'd always say, so small, that's so small, you know, because he's just so beyond, he's totally into the cosmos. And when I first met him, I was just like full witchy poo, and not that I wouldn't say that I've ever been a pagan, because I've always loved Christ, but I've been very witchy, you know. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't say a witch, you know. It's never been my thing. I sort of got into like more the goddess stuff, but more I'm very traditional. I love the Chinese philosophies like Taoism and like the Indian ways and shamanism and, yeah, sort of all ancient things. And I did get caught up in the New Age thing in the 80s and the 90s, which really fucked me big time, because that's when everyone was pretending to be positive all the time. And I think that's when I started having a full-on separation inside of myself, like pretending to be okay, because, you know, if you weren't, you know, that wasn't okay. It was like before the real owning of the shadow and the dark night of the soul and all that sort of thing. Anyway, when I first connected with Master Yang, being Chinese, and it's all about, you know, fucking fluorescent lighting, like I'm like, what? Are we landing planes, you know? But I've got really sensitive eyes, you know, I'm sensitive. Fuck, I'm so sensitive, you know, to, I could never go into a shopping centre without sunnies on or, you know, anything like that. But yeah, you know, he's, you know, absolutely no incense, no candles. Like one of my teachers, Yost, he definitely, you know, when he practices, doesn't get into any of that kind of flowery shit, he'd say, you know, whereas I love the lighting of the candle and the burning of the oil, and I like setting the tone with, you know, profound music. And although I have also learned how to practice just raw, because that's about trying to pull the senses in, you know. And I don't know if you've ever seen that photograph of Krishna where he's got, you know, the horses, the 5 horses, and he's trying to tame them and they're going everywhere. And I think, yeah, that's me, all those horses, you know, like, you know. But I think if it wasn't for the million years of, you know, yoga and spiritual practice and everything, I mean, you know, what would have happened to me, you know? Like, you know, I'm still so needy as far as, you know, needing something outside of my body to soothe myself, to soothe me, you know? Yeah. It's my Muslim look. I totally get the burqa. It is just perfect for those ugly days. And in summer, I would get a white cotton one and just, you know, the eyes out and just cruise around. Man, I'd love it. Over and out. Till tomorrow.